Welcome back to another case study at Starting Strength Dallas. You may have watched our previous case study with one of our members, Graham. We're here today with Charles, and we're doing a follow-up case study because once we launched the Gain 10 Pounds Challenge, where we challenge you to gain 10 pounds of lean body mass in 10 weeks, people freaked out. They're like, you can't do that. That's not possible. Well, A, we did it already. B, we've done it again. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your results since you got a DEXA scan?
You bet. So I got a DEXA Fit scan a couple months before I started Starting Strength back in July. Nothing really changed between the DEXA Fit scan and when I actually started training. And at the time I was at 22% body fat, and when I got a redo DEXA Fit back in December, I'd gone down to 17% body fat, and the body composition change on that was I'd lost 6 pounds of fat and I had gained 12 to 13 pounds of muscle.
Okay, wait, stop. You gained muscle
Yep.
and lost fat at the same time.
I sure did.
Well, that can't be done.
It can.
That's not possible.
I got
The
numbers.
haters will say that's not possible, but we've got the data. So maybe you want to get a close-up, a zoom-in shot of this, okay? Because you gained 16 and a half pounds of muscle and lost 6.1 pounds of fat.
I did.
Taking your body fat percentage from, what were those numbers again?
I believe it was about a 22% at the beginning, taking it down to about a 17%.
That is incredible. 21.3% down to 17.7.
Yep.
So all the while, your total body weight went up.
Yes.
So you gained about 10 pounds and your body fat percentage went down.
Correct.
That's not possible.
I believe it is.
How'd you do it?
Well, a lot of training,
Okay.
a lot of hard work.
All right. Tell me about that training. What did that entail for those who don't know, what we do at Starting Strength Dallas?
Sure thing. Well, it's a lot of the heavy compound lifts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, throughout my life, I have gone through a lot of fad routines and such. But as I entered my 40s and things started to hurt and bark at me that I hadn't heard before, I became more interested in form and doing the lifts right. Mm-hmm. And through my 20s and my 30s, I was very concerned and focused on the mirror muscles. Mm-hmm. And I always gave very, very light attention to leg day and back day. But I knew it was coming. Mm-hmm. I knew I needed it. Mm-hmm. And so I got the book a couple of years ago, and it really caught my interest. And then whenever I found out that the gyms were opening, because I tried doing some of it myself and it was helpful. Sure. But I also knew that I was not nailing the form. Right. And I knew that if I wanted to think about the long game, that I really needed to focus on the form. So I came in and did that.
There you go. The book was published by Mark Ripito so that people could take it, study it, learn it, and do the lifts correctly. Just like anything, you can learn to do all sorts of stuff on your own. Like you can learn how to work on your own car, on yourself, go to YouTube videos and do all that stuff. There was never better a time to learn how to do a new skill. That said, we're like your mechanics, right? We do the work. Well, we don't do the work for you. You obviously have to do the work, but we take the guesswork out of it by showing you exactly what to do and then progressing you through the lift. So let's talk about that progression a little bit.
Absolutely.
So you started day one, your squat was?
Low.
It was
roughly 135.
135, okay. And most recent PR when you were training to actually do your very first competition, right?
Yeah,
I mean, just for fun, right?
It was fun, but I surprised myself and got up 335.
135 to 305. 335.
Yes.
200 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more than I ever thought I was going to be able to do.
Okay, that's fantastic. And along similar lines, deadlift.
Yeah, deadlift was a completely foreign exercise.
So you were your standard gym bro.
Yes, absolutely.
Benching, doing the curls, and then we got you in here, and now you got a squat?
Yeah.
You got a deadlift?
I got a deadlift.
Started at 175.
175, and now it's up to 335.
335.
Yeah.
That's freaking awesome.
Yeah,
that is
and it
fantastic.
feels a lot better because the deadlift, whereas the presses feel a little bit more natural to me and I've got a little bit more experience over time doing it. The squat, I had this much experience. The deadlift, I had this much experience. And so when I started the deadlift, it was, even reading all about it, it still felt awkward. But through a lot of coaching and a lot of cueing and really learning to focus with y'all's help on what I needed to keep tight and what I was doing right, what I was doing wrong, now it feels pretty natural to me.
That's awesome. Yeah. And those numbers are really fantastic. As far as our experience here at the gym, that's not unnormal. It's not uncommon to take numbers and to go up like that. But for those who don't understand what that actually means of taking your squat from 135 to 335, or your deadlift from 175 to 335, because to a lot of people, those numbers are, they could mean anything. Like what is the actual outcome of that? What did that do for you?
Generally, well, a lot of things actually. I mean, one, from just a confidence standpoint, that looks like a lot of weight on the bar. That is a lot of iron
plates,
on the bar.
That's right.
And I would have never gotten to a point on my own where I would have ever even attempted it.
Sure.
It's just too intimidating.
Sure.
But as we work up 5 pounds at a time, I built a comfort level with it.
Right.
And so once I got to those things that at the beginning of my training were like, oh, I'll never get there, that'll be my highest ever, now it's just part of my warm-up.
Right. That's pretty awesome when your previous PR work set is now a warm-up set.
Yep.
And 335 doesn't seem that intimidating when you've already done 330.
Exactly.
And 330 doesn't seem all that intimidating when the workout before that, you did 325.
Yeah. And there was something about 225. So when I was doing it on my own and just having read the book, I got the confidence to actually try to squat and deadlift on my own. But from a form standpoint, I've got patella tendonitis in both knees, and so my knees were just screaming at me once I hit 225 on both of those things. And it was all because my form was better than before I'd read the book, but when I came in and really started getting the cues to stay on midfoot, what I learned is that I was going on my toes.
Right.
So my knees were tracking out over my toes.
Slide. Yeah.
And so, that was always what was limiting me when I was doing it on my own, was my knees were just, I got to stop.
Yeah.
And through coming in here and learning how to do it right, I haven't felt a bit of knee pain.
Yeah.
Not at all.
And for those of you trying to watch yourself in the mirror while you squat, you're going to have a real hard time seeing knee slide like a coach can, because a coach can move around from the side, from the back angle, and see those types of things. So prior to getting to the gym, you were reading the book and you were cleaning things up, still had some knee slide, thus the patellar tendon knee pain at 225. And now you're at 335.
Yep.
No knee pain.
None at all.
So that's kind of what I was trying to get at. What does going from 135 to 335 actually, net us as far as the benefits go? So no knee pain.
No knee pain.
What else? What about going from deadlift 175 to 335?
Strength.
Obviously, yeah.
But, one of the things that I always was a bit insecure about was just being top heavy.
Yeah.
Right? It's just like I was fairly strong on my upper body.
Right.
My lower body, I was like just pencil leg. Like I just didn't have any confidence in the strength of my back or my legs. And so that's really what it's done. It's like when I get under there, I actually feel the power. I can feel the strength of my legs, my back, and everything feels tight, and I feel like I can actually move the weight without it just being like, I'm just trying not to get crushed.
Sure. Yeah. A strong back is one of the benefits you get out of getting your deadlift up from 175 up to 335. And you had mentioned some, not significant, but some minor back pain that's now.
Yeah, I had lower back pain, and I don't know how much of it was related to my routines on my own or not, but it was there in the morning.
Right.
Period.
Yeah.
And it's not anymore.
There you go.
Not at all.
There you go. Now, what about what the DEXA said as far as the symmetry from left to right, that kind of thing?
That was one of the things that was the most surprising to me, because when I got the first DEXA fit, it showed that surprisingly my left leg had more muscle on it than the right. And so from left to right, I was 2.1, I believe, pounds heavier on my left side than right side. So I had a 2.1 pound difference.
Right.
Now in my latest scan, that 2.1 has decreased to a half pound difference.
Pound.
So I'm almost in perfect symmetry left to right.
That's awesome. That's one of the benefits of using a barbell specifically, because each side is producing the same amount of force if the barbell is doing this. There's no other way for that to happen.
Yep.
If both sides are producing the same amount of force, the barbell moves symmetrically, moves parallel to the floor, up. Now, how do we know if one side is taking over versus the other?
Well, I really don't.
Here's what I'd be looking for.
You would have to that I have to even think about, right?
Right.
You're just naturally going to push it so that it comes up evenly, and then that seems to take care of the rest of it.
Here's what we would see in the barbell. It would do like this. Whoop. One side would be rising up faster than the other.
Sure.
And that's obviously not good technique.
Right.
So it's not going to happen in our gym because you have a coach making sure that you are demonstrating good technique. And if it's going all cockeyed like that, we need to take the weight down some so that you can demonstrate good technique. And it's oftentimes, I explain it as a process of one step back in order to take 2 steps forward. And I think, your numbers demonstrate that quite conclusively. 135 to 335 on the squat, 175 to 335 on the deadlift. Press also went up from 95 to 170, so almost doubled your press. Now, you already came in with a pretty strong bench, but even that lift went from 225, which is 2 plates, to 335.
Yep.
So 3 plates plus.
Yep.
Have you ever benched 3 plates before?
Never.
That's awesome. So even for a gym bro who just wants to get jacked and tan, upper body, do the program.
I am stronger now than I was in my 20s.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That is excellent.
I'm 44.
Okay, now, as we get older, what type of fat should we be most concerned about?
Visceral.
Why?
Because that's the stuff that'll not, you can't see it, but it's all around your organs, and it's the stuff that'll kill you quick.
Right. It's the thing that's, related to cardiovascular disease.
That's right.
And what happened to your visceral fat as a result of, not as a result, but as recorded by the last DEXA?
Yeah, I can't remember the exact numbers, but it went down significantly. I mean, I believe it was around 3.5 pounds of visceral fat, just all in here, and it went down to about 2.5 pounds. So I sliced half a pound, 1 pound of fat just surrounding my organs. It's gone.
There you go.
Yeah, very happy about that.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. It's real important that we train and that we get stronger, especially as we're leading into and getting older, because this. Dr. Sullivan, another strength coach, describes this as our 401k for the body. So we put into it when we're younger, put into it, so that we can really, really enjoy life fully when we're older. So you're a smart guy.
There.
Now, were you doing anything in regards to nutrition to facilitate these changes of increase in muscle mass and a decrease in body fat?
I do protein shakes.
Okay.
So I typically take protein shake when I get up in the morning and then post-workout.
Cool.
And then on workout days, depending on what I've eaten throughout the day, I might do one before I go to bed.
Okay.
So I typically try to supplement roughly between 60 and 100 grams of protein a day, 100 on a very high day.
Okay. So just bumping up protein intake. That's really the only change that you made.
That's it, and a bit of extra creatine.
Okay.
5 to 7 grams.
That works.
Yeah, but that's it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I don't have anything else to add to that. I think
one thing in terms of longevity, the visceral fat reduction was a big bonus. The evening out was a big bonus. But one other thing the DEXA results showed was that I've actually increased bone mineral content.
Oh, that's right.
Bone density.
That's right.
And so that's not anything. When I got the results, I was like, what's that mean? Why does that matter?
Right.
But then, once you start getting older and you start losing bone density, you break easier.
Sure.
And I've broken a couple times. And so I was really happy to see that a side benefit of all of the weight training was that I'm actually gaining bone mass.
There you go, man. And it was already pretty good to begin with, but now it's even better than that. So
I want to keep going up.
Total bonus on that. Well, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
I really appreciate it, man.
Thank you very much.
Look forward to seeing. Pleasure. I look forward to seeing your first 4-plate lift here before too long.
You and me both.
All right, man.
All right.
Thanks.